and I just did it. I joined in like the Arabic Society. I just kind of in Freshers Week, I just thought, okay, I'll try something different. And belly dancing was what I wanted to try. And from the first class I did it, I loved it. I felt like the moves just felt good with my body. They just felt comfortable, and I loved the music and the atmosphere. And it wasn't, I hadn't really been to any dance classes before. I was kind of late with everything. I always did fitness, but dance I didn't do till later. I love to dance, like at a party or something in a nightclub.
Social
I like
dancers,
to go
yeah.
raving, but I never went to like an actual dance class until I was 19. And yeah, so that's when my love of the art started. Yeah.
Which is interesting. I find it actually a lot of ladies they start joining a little like later. I mean, not even ballet dancing, but generally in dancing society, which is like interesting tendency, I would say. Something different for my experience, let's say, because like from where I came, we start from the nursery basically, and then we just go. So everyone is dancing something somewhat. So that's why it's interesting that you decided from fitness. So you were already into the fitness field,
I
right?
loved sport at school. I played a lot of hockey and netball and things like this, and I went to the gym. I mean, you can't go to the gym really until you're about like 15, 16, because any younger than that, you're still developing. But I started going to the gym as soon as I could, and I loved doing exercise. But I think I don't know, in that time, there wasn't so much encouragement for people to go to dance classes. It wasn't really a thing. I think some kids would go to ballet, but that was about it. There wasn't really any access to dance classes, not like there is now. And I grew up in a sort of I grew up in Wokingham, and there wasn't, I'm sure there was dance classes going on, but it wasn't as big as the dance might be now for younger kids or younger people. I don't think, like you're saying, your background, you had dance from a very young age. It wasn't such a thing for
Mhm.
people I knew. No one I knew went to dance classes really.
But
So
also, this is an interesting question. Do you think you would benefit if you would be in dancing field right from the start? Maybe though you said you were in university, so you were young anyway. Or I mean, it's not like something you started in 40s or 50s, isn't it?
oh, someone's just saying,
So
so oh, Jane, you grew up in Crowthorne, yeah, just down the road. Someone very close to me, yes, good.
yeah, Jane is
A
also a
Berkshire
dancer,
friend.
so
I would have loved to have done dance earlier, but I just didn't know about it. Do you see what I mean? Like I used to, when I was very young, there was something inside me to dance. I used to put on music of my dad, some records he had, some 80s music, I don't know what it was. And I just used to dance around the living room with a scarf, actually. And it's weird because I'd never seen a belly dance. I never really watched dancing on TV. My parents don't dance. No one in my family dances. And I used to just go around the living room, and I used to make all these moves, and I had no idea what they were, but I was doing some kind of dance that was naturally inside me. Um, so there was something there in me, and I think dance is something that's within all of us. And I obviously had that creative thing, but there was no one there to guide me. And there wasn't really dance at school. We didn't have that option. So if I was a good dancer, no one would have really known, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
So
but that's yeah, okay. Good that now I think now it's a little bit different. So at least people have different choices and in different age. So which is I really hope it will stay like this or even will bloom. But w- uh, would you say that this was your first choice in a career path, so being a fitness or in fitness field or dancing instructor, or it was not your first choice? Maybe you had other choices and you went other way first, other to other
well, like
paths.
I didn't really know what, like I think when you're 18, 19, there's a lot of pressure to go to university, isn't there? And I felt like I should go to university. I felt that that was the right thing, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. And weirdly enough, I actually looked at studying dance at university, but then in my head, I was like, oh my God, because this was the first year that they introduced the university fees. And so this was a big thing. Before that, university had been free. So I think people kind of felt going to university maybe wasn't so risky, but I thought, oh my God, I've got to pay these fees. I've got to make my course really worthwhile. I've got to do something that gives me a job. And at the time, I was very good at business. And my business teacher, who I really admired, he said, why don't you study an Asian language with your business? And then you have the chance to, you know, work in a bigger market than just in the UK. So I studied Japanese and management.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, Japanese.
yeah.
Wow.
So it was totally different. But I didn't really enjoy my course so much, not because I didn't like Japanese. I love Japan and I went to live there for 2 years. But I'm not really an academic person. I love learning, but not in that kind of environment, not in that institutionalized environment. I
Mm,
love to study, I love to learn, but in a more fun, kind of practical kind of way. So for me, I didn't really enjoy uni. And then when I came out, I was just so happy to be out of university and I just wanted to do my own thing. And I was already
stay
dancing.
away from
Yeah,
them.
I was already dancing while I was at uni to support my time to get through uni financially. So I just carried on dancing and I tried to do a little bit of office work when I left uni, and that lasted a total of about 3 months. So that was
Mhm,
like
yeah, short one, very
that was
quick
my
one.
time to try and do something. And I just would mess around in the office and then I would be excited about going to my belly dance job. So yeah. So it didn't
Do you
I did
do you
try to
remember?
do something else, but no, then after that I
But it,
just went into dance.
yeah. Do you remember your first ballet dance teacher? Her name? I mean, are you still connected? Are you still keeping in touch, or you
No,
just
the very first one was at uni. I can't remember her name. I think it was a very short course, like 6 weeks. And then
mm-hmm,
I went to another teacher in Leeds. Her name was Margaret Reddyhoff, and
mm-hmm.
she was already very old when she was teaching, but she was a great teacher. I think she was like 83 when I was learning with her. And
Okay. Wow.
yeah, yeah. And I also met Nawara in these classes as well. At the very beginning, we would be in the class together. So yeah. And I met a
They
lot
had
of the northern
inspired.
belly dancers in this time, you know, people like Tracy Gibbs who've been around for a long time. So yeah, it was a good
So
experience.
well-known names. Yeah,
Yeah,
well-known
yeah.
names. Okay. So, so for now, I checked your webpage, obviously, and I noticed, well, there is a project. We will definitely talk about the project a little bit later. So, but I noticed that you teach so many different styles. So it's not only dance, but it's what? It's Zumba, it's fitness, it's stretching, isn't it?
So I do
Stretching, if I remember.
yoga, I teach
Yoga,
yoga,
yeah.
Pilates, I've done bar. I've done so many different
Ah,
types of,
ah.
yeah, like exercise to music. So I've done it. I did at one point. I did an African dance fitness class. I've done a club-sized fitness class. I've done a little
So
bit of
pretty
everything.
much
I've done
everything.
aqua
I would say.
aerobics, everything with
Yeah.
movement. I've sort of done it basically. Even
So,
weights and you know,
and massage, don't
kickboxing.
forget. And massage. This is a recent add-on to your big list, long list of professions. So now you're doing even that. So, uh, is it because of you really want to try everything, all of it, or maybe there is something like financial reasons behind that? So why such a big like food? Like very different. Yeah, they're connected with the movement, but still they're very different. All of it, I would say. Why this big choice?
Because I think that everything links in together. Um, so you'll see a lot of things that actually have similarities.
Hmm.
So if you look at for example, a sideline movement in a ballet move in a bar class where you have your leg to the side, that also is very similar to a certain yoga stretch, you know, where you have your legs out to the side. That's also similar to a kickboxing move. So
Hmm.
you know, there's only so many things you can do with your body. You know, there's a lot of things you can do with your body, but you'll find there's a crossover in so many things that you know, you've got a plank in yoga, you've got a plank in Pilates, you've got a plank in body conditioning. A plank is a
So
plank, you know. So
how was the decision was made? I mean, okay, there is something new coming. I want to try this, or oh, this is a plank. I want to try. Oh, where else I have the plank position? What else can I learn? Because all of this, but correct me if I'm wrong, takes like enormous amount of time actually to get the diploma, to study. You still have to study, maybe even get courses and pay for them. So it's um correct me if I'm wrong. So it's like a lot of this studying process, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, I think though that like what I like about the fitness and the massage and everything is it's interlinked. So once you know about, and it all helps each other. So I find that because I've been a dancer, then that helps me with my fitness because I understand music and I put the creativity of the dance in my fitness. I want to make the movements more interesting, and then the fitness helps with the dance because my body is stronger, so I can hold my, for example, my balance better. And then because I do dance and fitness, I know about my muscles, and then when I'm doing a massage, then I know what I need to work on with that person with the massage. So I feel like when I give a massage, I can almost feel where the person's pain. I can almost feel their body because I know I'm very in my body, so I understand how other
Hmm.
people's bodies work.
Yeah.
Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So
So
it's, but it's everything, like everything around body and dance,
yeah,
basically.
it all kind of moves together. And even like when I'm doing massage, I find the movements, I find it like a dance, you know, you're kneading the body, you're brushing the body. There are movements and I kind of feel like I'm dancing but with someone else's tissue. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? With someone else's body tissue.
Oh, we do the
Yeah,
shimmy.
and then the strength for I have from the fitness, and I can push that into the massage. So I just feel like everything links together really, really well. And basically, I kind of made all my interests into my work because I actually quite like doing them. So you know, people say to me, I work a lot, but then my work became what I like.
Hobby
So
in my
it's,
life. Yeah,
yeah, so it's not so
can't be
bad, you know, to do all
separated.
these
Yes,
courses and so on because,
definitely.
yeah.
And is there some kind of a priorities? Let's say I like exactly this style a little, I prefer this style a little bit more, or let's say I like doing massage more than doing, I don't know, kickboxing, or you like everything and there's no favorites.
You know what? I love dance because of the way it makes you feel, and nothing can ever compare to performing. Nothing, you know. Um, I mean, sometimes I feel like I'm performing when I do fitness. If I have a really big class and the energy is very high, that also can give you a really good buzz, you know. But there's something about performing that you can't really replace. But then that is something that now I'm slowly. I did my last public sort of commercial belly dance show at New Year in the commercial world. I made a decision to stop dancing in the restaurants and the clubs for the moment for many reasons, which I
Yeah,
can
that
tell
was
you about
also,
if you want. Um,
yes, this is also one of my questions, to be honest. Yeah, so let's just slowly go into that because I
yeah.
don't mind. So if you don't mind either, so let's do that.
Okay. Yeah. So
Tell me.
basically, I've been dancing 20 years. So from I took my first bay dance class at 19, and then I got a job by 20. So from 20 to 40, I've been dancing pretty much every weekend. Well, every
Hmm.
weekend. And when I was dancing full time in the week as well, sometimes every night. So I have literally done thousands and thousands and thousands of shows,
So,
thousands. And I've danced all over. I've danced 18 countries, maybe more now, 19. And I've danced in the UK. I mean, every venue, every hotel,
I know everything.
every possible place that you can imagine. And I love dancing, but I felt that there's a few reasons why I decided to take a break. One reason is that I found that my relationships would always struggle. Unfortunately, I found it hard to find a man who would accept the dancing, and
I feel you. I feel your pain. It's not easy.
it's
It's
not
really
easy.
hard.
In the beginning, it would be okay, but in the end, there would be problems. And I wasn't ready to give up before, so my work always came before any relationship. But then recently, I felt like, okay, like maybe I would like more time now to have a relationship. So that was one reason. The second reason I stopped was because at the beginning of the year, my dad was very sick. Unfortunately, he was going to die, and it was very sudden that he was going to die. And I kind of knew that I hadn't for years spent enough time with my family. You know, I'd spend every weekend, every Christmas, every Easter, every New Year, everything had always been dancing. That had been my priority: money, dancing, you know, going for all these things. And so I'd always not ignored, but I hadn't seen my friends or my family. So I thought, okay, now's the time. You know, I'm 40. I want to be with my family a bit more when I can, because they don't live in London. I want to give a bit of time to my relationship, to my partner, and I want to see my friends, you know, because every Friday and Saturday I'm finishing late. I'm finishing, you know, 11, 12 at night, and I can never go out
We
for dinner.
work.
I can never go anywhere, you
Yeah.
know.
We work when everyone is actually relaxing. This is the way of life of entertainer. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
how.
And then the other reason is that I felt that I needed to take a break and refresh myself, because I think when you just I felt like at the end of my time of the last few months, I always turned up. I always did a good job. I was all smiling, but I didn't feel I had that same drive that I did in my 30s. Like in my early 30s, I was like, I want to be really good. I want to have the best costume. I want to have this. I had this drive just to have as many jobs as possible. And my drive had sort of gone a little bit. And I think when your drive goes off and you don't have that hunger anymore, I
People
was,
see that.
sometimes I felt like a bit of a diva at work with the people, and just like, oh, you know, like, you know, when I remember I went to dance at a wedding, and, you know, in the past I would have, because I wanted all this work and I wanted to have a good name, I would have been like maybe more polite with people. But I turned up to the wedding and I was like, you're not on time. Oh, you know, and I was so rude. I thought, Tara, what's wrong with you? You know, you need to just take a little bit of a break. You've done this for a long time now. And, you know, you just need to maybe take a refresh, focus on training yourself and teaching people what you know, and then when you're ready, go back in it. So there was many reasons I decided to take a break. And I think as well, it's good I think as an artist, you need to know when to exit something and either take a break or stop.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I think it's very important, because there's nothing worse than seeing someone on stage who's tired, or who isn't into
Oh
their
yeah.
job anymore, or who isn't like really hungry um, for that thing, you know. So I thought, okay, let someone else have that space who's hungry for it, and you take a
Mhm.
break, and, you know, and if you want to
Yeah,
come back,
you'll
it's
come back.
there, you know.
Yeah,
Does
you'll
that
be
make,
done.
I hope that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. Actually, I think to be honest, I think if someone is okay, let's talk about in this exactly this entertainment area. So if you've been there for a long time, we all, I think, can just have a break from something and then come back, then again have a break and then come back. And at some point, yeah, you just don't come back, I guess. You're just like, whatever, please, new generation, come, it's your space, take it.
And
So maybe.
I think with the commercial world of belly dance as well, it's very different from like theatre. Like I'd still happily do theatre stuff. I still happily do, you know, like haflas and all this kind of thing. But I think I was getting a little bit tired of the restaurants and the commercial scene, and you know, all of this. And I just thought, okay, take a break, do the artistic side when you're ready again, when you've refreshed yourself, you know, when you.
Was it difficult to actually say to yourself, okay, now I'm relaxing. I'm not taking maybe bookings even. I think you even canceled some bookings, isn't it? Or you just were giving them to someone else.
Well,
So
everything
was it
kind of worked out really well for me in a way, but not for other dancers. So basically, I finished in February, and then I was occupied with my dad, who was going to die. He died in February, and then basically the lockdown came. So it was like, I didn't even have chance to think about stopping this dancing in a way, because everyone
Left
had to stop
itself.
dancing. So, I mean, it's so sad for dancers that they've had this lockdown. It's been a terrible time for artists, and I really feel, but for me, in a way, it was kind of like worked out well for me that
Difficult.
I stopped dancing, and then the lockdown came. So I didn't feel
Uh,
the pain so much of getting bookings and not being able to take them,
Interesting.
you know.
Is it,
So
well, there is this kind of a belief that not all dancers can be teachers, not all teachers can be dancers or choreographers. So it's kind of three different professions. Was it hard for you to come from, like, transit from dancer, from entertainer to a teacher? Because right now I see a lot of videos from you where you exactly teach. So less dancing, now I understand why, but more teaching. So was it hard for you to actually jump into this field, like focus completely with all your focus?
teaching is a skill, definitely, and dancing is a very different skill. And definitely, some people, they're not great at both or don't even enjoy both. You have to have a lot of patience to be teaching, you know, because everyone is very different, and also you have to be very humble, because not everyone is going to like or be interested in what you have to teach. So not everyone will come to you. So you know, you have to always, and it's the same with dancing. Not everyone's going to like my dancing. Do you know what I mean? So there's a lot to accept as a dancer and a teacher, I think.
But
But
for you, how was it for you? I mean, did you face any difficulties when you decided, okay, now I'm teaching? Or it was very easy for you, okay, that's it, now I'm just teaching, I'm not performing, and just turn this completely.
I've always been teaching for a long time. So I was already teaching full time from 25.
Okay,
I
so
did
no
a
problem there.
Yeah, so I did learn many skills to teach. I mean, I wasn't very good in the beginning, but I learned lots of skills to be able to teach. But again, with your teaching, you have to keep inspired. You have to keep yourself
Oh yeah.
inspired. Otherwise, you've got nothing to teach people, you know? So I have to take classes myself when I can, to stay up to date and to stay, you know, keep myself fresh, because otherwise, how can I teach people? You know, this is someone's culture. This is someone's, you
Yeah,
know,
it's not
this is
so easy for us to maybe yeah, transmit. And by this is also another question. So could you name me three different ballet dancers from, I mean, from the whole world? So don't, let's not keep it only UK. That give you this inspiration that you would like to dance with, to learn from, or take workshops. Yeah, three ballet. You can give more if you know more.
okay. So I have to say, Sarah Farouk is my one of my biggest inspirations in terms of teaching and performing. She, you know, a UK dancer who moved to Egypt, but she's always been very inspirational. She has great advice, and she just has such a different attitude, very inspiring attitude, and of course is a great performer as well. So you know, I learned a lot from her. Of course, I love Randa Kamal. I think her style is incredible. She is, you know, super
Very.
energetic and fiery. And as a woman, I really respect her, because it's not easy in Egypt to be a dancer. So she's done really well for herself as well internationally. And her teaching is amazing. You know, her teaching is excellent. Um, and then, you know, I love Naima Keith from the
Mm-hmm.
golden era. I just, I don't know why, I just felt happy when I see her dancing. She was very light and acrobatic and fluid, and um, I love her movements. Yeah, I really like a little pixie dancing around. I felt very joyful when I
Pixie
watch
dancing.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, yeah, you named people who or moved to Egypt or lived in Egypt. So, were you even thinking to move to Egypt um, and build a career there? So maybe as a dancer, as a professional dancer in Egypt, or
I
was
did
that
work
not?
in Egypt, not as a belly dancer, but in folkloric dance. So
Mhm.
I went to Egypt when I was 24, and I had a contract there to work in a theatre show in Sharm el Sheikh, which was a big show. and there was about 100 artists in the show, and it was actually I learned so much, but it was all kind of folklore mixed with modern dance. And then I halfway through that year I moved to Cairo, and I was in a theatre show there, in Masra Al Gadida. Okay, and that was with a big director at the time, and again it was folklore, so I didn't do any belly dancing. And I never really thought about belly dancing in Egypt, because at the time I got married to an Egyptian, and then I came back to the UK because I found this was before the revolution. And before the revolution, like it was quite restricted, I think. It was getting quite restricted with life, and I just was finding it, I was personally finding it quite challenging to be in Egypt. I unfortunately had some incidents here and there of things that happened in the street and things. I just felt a little bit like I couldn't, I love to sort of walk around and be free in the streets, and I just found I was getting a lot of troubles actually. So me and my husband at the time, we decided the best thing to do was move to the UK. And then by that time, everything had started up here with our business. And a couple of times I said to my partner, my husband, like, should we go back to Egypt? But we never went back in the end. So it never was something that was came across my mind. But if I could go back in time, yeah, maybe I would love to try and belly dance in Egypt. It's not easy. It's not easy, but I know the dancers love it. But it's a challenging
Yes,
career path. There's a lot of challenges.
definitely. Especially now when you watch all, lots of people are going to Egypt right now. They're doing their making their careers down now. So it's interesting to watch like different paths of ballet dance. So though we all are in ballet dance world, we all kind of have our own niche, I would say, and this is interesting. By the way, another question, because you definitely you're in this fitness area, so you know more compared to other fitness areas, subjects. Is belly dancing declining, or I mean, what do you think about it? Is it the interest is declining, or maybe it's the same, or maybe it will definitely come back? So, what's your ideas?
I think people's attention is declining. I think this is the
Attention.
problem. um, I think that we are overwhelmed with information. I think we have our brains fried almost with technology, and this has
Oh yeah.
affected people's ability to concentrate. So I feel like the problem now is that everyone wants instant
Yeah.
results.
Oh yes. Oh my God.
They
I
want
completely agree.
everything instant. They're not
Right
prepared
now.
to take the time to learn slowly or to learn one move. They think it's boring. In the past, this wasn't the way. You'd go to a belly dance class and you would spend 1 hour learning one move. This would never happen now. It would never happen. Everyone wants choreography. They want it bang, bang, bang. They want everything fast. They want to be an instant belly dancer. And that is the problem, because for some people, they can't do that so quickly. They get frustrated if they, so some people who can't dance, they'll go to a belly dance class, it's too fast for them, so they get put off. And then the people that really want to learn all these things, if it's too slow, they get put off. And I think the problem is now is that people want instant fix. And that's why Zumba and
Oh yeah.
these kind of like dance fitness classes became popular, because people just want to jump around. They don't really want to think about it. They just want to follow someone else. They don't want to have creativity. They're scared to do. If I tell people now that we're going to do improvisation, they just freak out. Whereas in the past, we did improvisation a lot more. So I think the problem now is that people just don't have the attention span to learn details, and they want everything quickly. And that's the hard thing with teaching belly dance now. So I do think numbers have gone down, which is really sad. I mean, I think obviously like yoga's had a massive boom, Pilates has had a massive boom, bar is so popular, it's crazy. But all of these things like bar, like people, they're like, oh, I love bar because of the burn, you know? But actually, like, with belly dance, things are slower, and people, they get annoyed if they don't feel like they're sweating, and they get annoyed if they're not feeling their muscles. They don't realize that these small little steps will have such big results in the end. So this is the one thing I really hope that we can get back to people, is that we don't always need to have everything burning or everything sweating or everything you know, crazy fast to be
Yeah.
learning something, you know. And
Do you think it will come back? What do you think? It
I
can
hope
come
so.
back?
I hope so. I mean, people are really getting into mindfulness, and, you know, people know they need to relax and they know they need to take things easy. So I really hope that people will take enjoyment in learning a few moves and getting those moves comfortable. Like I would really enjoy even myself now just to go to a class with some nice music and do some hip circles and figures of eights. I would feel so happy. You know, to not have to do loads of choreography and loads of arabesques and crazy stuff. It would be really nice to
Slow
just,
down and relax.
yeah, to feel to because part of belly dance, I think, is a big thing of belly dance is to enjoy those feminine movements. They feel great. So to keep moving like that makes you feel wonderful. And I really hope that
Yeah.
people can see that. It
It's a
doesn't
different
always have to be
energy.
about creating crazy choreographies every time, you know.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And let's agree that, especially you can say, am I right or no? But this absolutely creates different atmosphere and energy. You go out from the class with a different energy level. So I really can, I think it cannot be even compared, to be honest, but with, let's say, belly dance and bar. Yeah, though it's like you said, it's very popular, but it's a different energy, it's different, how to say, atmosphere there. So it's never can be okay. I'm doing this or that. It should be both then, because you will have different results. So yeah, but I totally agree with you there. But now going back to the business part, I will be talking a lot about business with you today, because I'm sure it's one of the most interesting topics. But so starting uh, with all these, I don't know how to say, subjects, areas, which one is the most profitable for you? You definitely don't say in numbers, but generally. So what brings you more financial stability, if I may ask this question? So let's say somebody's listening right now and thinking, which fitness should I start? Which website?
You know what? I'm going to be really honest and say I think these days you have to be very versatile in what you're doing, because as as we just talked about belly dance, things change, and there was a time that belly dance was hugely popular, and there weren't that many teachers around, and you know we were raking in it. You know, the teachers
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff. We would have loads of people in the classes. It was in high demand, and then now it's not. And actually, a lot of the gyms got rid of. They used to teach belly dance in some of the gyms, and they got rid of that. You know, because it
yeah.
wasn't a super popular
Popular.
class. You know, um, so I think now to have success in, if you're going to be a belly dancer and you want to teach belly dance, then you need to have a whole profile of doing online classes. You know, you have to have your on-demand classes, your in-person classes, your website, your YouTube video. You have to have many ways to have success and maybe sell, you know, something along with that belly dance, or sell your knowledge or something. I think it's very hard just to be like a teacher and expect that you're going to make a living from that. I think you have to be dancing, performing, organizing events, you know, have many strings to what you're doing to get a following.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think, you know, if you're going to
And
focus on one area, then I think you have to have many avenues that you're working with in that area. So
so which you did. So can you say that you kind of are, you are happy with the result, or there is still more things to come, and you are now ready to completely go into the market and take everything under control? So,
you know, like
so
I just, for me, I like to do what I enjoy, and if I don't enjoy it, then I don't do it. Like I'm not, I have to say, like I'm not massive fan of. I find social media quite challenging to enjoy, um, like posting, and I find this quite tiresome for me. I like YouTube. I like making content. I like putting it up, but I'm not very detailed on, you know, getting all these followers. So that's something that I would like to be better at, but I don't find very interesting. So I prefer to put my energy where I'm actually either teaching or organizing real kind of events. Like I love my retreats, for example, where I can really feel the results quickly and straight away. So there's always things that I love to learn and would like to expand more on, but it's just there's only so many hours in the day, isn't there, that you can do all these things. But there's loads of things I want to do. There's so many things I want to do in fitness and well-being, and my mind has constantly ideas of stuff that I want to do. It's just that I don't have the time often to do it all.
Well, just recently you posted, well, recently, maybe a month ago, you posted on, I think it was Facebook, Instagram, not sure,
Yeah.
that you started a new project. And I remember I was reading that post that, oh, I'm starting something new. It's gonna be something new. And I even felt that you put a lot of feelings into that post. I was reading like, wow, okay, I really want to see what that's going to be, you know? So could you please tell more a little bit about it? So what's that? What's that project? If it's already we can talk about it.
Okay, so it's a little bit of a long story around it, but I'll tell you. I um I had a conversation. I had a few conversations with different people where I felt like my health was struggling in different ways. A, being tired, and B, that I was kind of just having this very strong kind of Western way of dealing with everything in my work and in my life and in my health. And when I went to India, and they said, like, someone I was training yoga with basically said, you know, he kept saying, oh, you ladies in the West, you're too strong. You need to soften in what you're doing. You need to soften everything, because we are fighting against everything. And this is giving us problems with our health. This is giving us problems with, you know, the way we are living our lives. And this really stuck onto me, because I feel like I'm always grabbing things, or I'm always feel like we have to work very hard at things. And so that was the first beginning of this. And then I met someone else who was mentoring me a little bit, and I was having some, again, like, health problems. And she said, look, you know, it seems like you're really healthy on the outside, but on the inside, you're not very healthy. And why don't you try to find, you know, a way of working out that's a bit more comfortable for your body, you know? And then this made me think, and I thought, okay, like, maybe let me think about combining so many things together. And then I realized that that there's not many fitness programs or like dance programs that combine things together. I find that as I said earlier, I think everything's become about getting faster and harder and stronger, and like, which is great, but I think we're already living in a society that is going faster and harder and stronger, and we're just like buzzing, you know, we're exploding. And so I thought, can I create something that is a combination of stretch and movement and dance that works you out, that has elements of softness in, and has elements of dance and stretch and everything all combined, that has a more, because I think, okay, there's yoga, but that's not really a fitness, that's more like a mind body thing. But something that was in fitness but also had a bit of a mind body spiritual approach to it, that's what
It
I
sounds
was.
like you're inventing something new right now. So it's a
Yeah,
new style of I don't know. You tell me of what. So
when you
it sounds
like,
like
basically a fitness program, not as in like a fitness program as in you're going to lose weight or something like that, but like a fitness class, a fitness concept. So it's a class for women. I mean, if men want to come, that's fine, but it's designed for female bodies, female, you know, feminine movements. And I just kind of wanted to have a class that is lets women feel sensual in their bodies but still works them out, you know. So
oh,
it's not just a kind of like, so if you go to an average body conditioning class, it's like lunges and squats, and it's all very like square and masculine and, yeah, pumping, and that's nice. I quite like to do that sometimes. I'm sure lots of people do. But I wanted something that was softer and kinder for the joints, barefoot class, still working hard, but like just bringing everything in a little bit more, if that makes any sense. So I did one trial on my some of my ladies, and they really loved it. And then I was going to do the next release and try again on a bigger range of people, but obviously then I had this operation recently, and I couldn't
Which
do
we
everything I
will discuss.
wanted. So
So, but do you have a name for that or not yet? Or you're
I
just
do,
or
and it will be revealed soon. So I've trademarked the name.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I
okay.
will
Yeah.
release it on Facebook. So keep your eyes and ears
Yes,
out. And I
definitely.
think people will love it. It's something different. It combines stretch, like yoga movements. It combines some dance movements, but it's very simple and very repetitive. And then some, like you will get your heart rate up. So it combines a little bit of everything, but without damaging your body, without slamming the body around, without, making you feel wiped out. You should feel energized at the end of it, which is what I
Which
want women to
brings me
feel.
back to the to our beginning of the conversation when we talked about belly dancing and declining. So we you told me that people are kind of anxious and they wanted the result right here, right now. How it would come like be together? I mean, people who come to the classes, give me the result, and then we stretch and we dance. And which do you think is gonna be kind of? What do you think?
I
I'm just
think that
asking.
the way I've made the class is that there is a lot of variety in the class, but it's quite repetitive. So um, you don't feel bored because there's a lot of repetitive movement and there's a lot of but there's still a lot of change in the class. But we're not trying to um, achieve anything as such. It's more about
Yeah.
enjoying being in your body for that time, and kind of letting go of trying to
Mm-hmm.
achieve a weight loss or achieve something. It's about enjoying fitness, enjoying movement, actually just enjoying
Would it,
movement,
mhm.
and then the other
That
things
sounds
come
really,
you know
yeah, that sounds very interesting. I think everyone will be waiting for the name because it's, now you build the interest even higher. So, would it be available also online? Obviously, right now everything is online.
Yes,
By
I'm
the
going
way,
to do it
that's
online to start with. Yeah, I just, the way I tend to do things, I build things very slowly, because I think that you can never have anything totally ready in the beginning. Like, A, I'm
never
too
something
busy,
missing.
and
Yeah, yeah,
also things
something.
change. So sometimes I'm going to kind of do like a class, people, they can try it online. And then bit by bit, I'll see perhaps if other people are interested in teaching this, and then maybe they want to learn with me how to teach this program, and then just bit by bit we'll grow on that. So I'll be looking for people that want to teach this and want to,
Okay,
yeah, and want to
good. Yes. So,
eventually we'll get there, but bit by bit, because I'm sure there
yeah,
were
slowly, slowly.
things might come up that I'm like, oh, that didn't work, or oh, I really like that and I didn't know about
Yeah, but
that.
it's good. It's trying thing. It's better to try, right?
Exactly.
So always have
Exactly.
to.
I just think it's better just to dive in there and then see. It might go wrong, it might go really wrong and people don't like it. And I'll be like, okay, at least I didn't put all my
Eggs
life
in one
into
basket.
that. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, if by the way, this is also interesting. I don't know how about you, but I was not teaching online before everything started. So I was not even, I mean, I was thinking a little bit, but I was not taking it too serious. Like I think majority of dance teachers or any other profession like this, yeah, in the entertainment area. But were you was it difficult basically for you to go online with all your dance experience and also with massage? That also you need to have an actual person there, right? You cannot do massage online. So I'm just how was it for you? How was this transition for you? Was it difficult? How did you manage to adjust? And yeah, please. And what do you think? Can you compare these two, offline and online, pros and cons?
Oh, so basically, when the lockdown came, I told you, as I said a minute ago, I just jump into things and I don't often know where it's going to go. So I heard there's going to be a lockdown. I was like, damn, like I've just lost all my work, and how I'm going to survive. So I have this little survival thing in me that just goes, I will do anything to make money. And I had no idea how anything online was going to work, but literally the lockdown happened on the Friday. I did my last class and I was like, right, I'm going to go online and I'm going to be online by Sunday. I have no idea how it
No.
works. So I spent that Saturday, I tried Zoom a little bit. And I thought, okay, I'm just gonna give this a go. My first Zoom class was a disaster. Like everything was out of time. People, the Wi-Fi was going on and off. But I had people there, and then they came back. I don't know why. Maybe because it was very entertaining. So
Just
like
to
this
watch how you like getting nervous there. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
so I
so
think
to
I was one of
say.
the first people I know that was like online doing this, and I had no clue what to do. I mean, I'm not the best with technology, if I'm honest. Like, I can find things out if I have the time, but I was just like, okay, I have to be online, and I don't know if this is, gonna work. But I just threw myself in there, and then as I went along, then I found out like how to use the microphone, how to get the music playing, how to get the Wi-Fi properly working. So I had to change my whole Wi-Fi, and yeah. So basically, yeah, I threw myself into it, and now it's all working fine. But it wasn't without problems at all, and I had a few, yeah, quite sort of like stressful times teaching because there'll be like 30 people in the class, and then I was frozen or something,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
then I
yeah.
had to kind of style it out and then come back in again, and then I disappear. So there's a lot of that going on in the beginning, but now like it's fine. That doesn't happen anymore. So yeah, but I'm so grateful. Everyone was very patient and amazing. So thank you to all my clients for being so patient with me. And then in terms of what do I like in terms of
Yeah.
classes, real life or online, for me, personally, like I like both. I love teaching both now. Like my online thing is working fine without any problems. I really enjoy teaching online because obviously it's easier for me as a teacher because I'm at home. But I can
Yeah.
add some creativity in there as well. Like in the lockdown, I did like a burlesque class. That was really fun because we were all dressed up. There's no way we could do that in the gym. We were all wearing high heels and suspenders, and the ladies came with makeup on. I thought the gyms you'd never be able to do this. And then so
Yeah.
that was like one benefit of the online classes, that people can dress up, they feel comfortable in their own home. And then the other benefit is that you feel comfortable. So like after a yoga class and people have done the meditation, they don't then have to get out, pick up all their
Yeah.
stuff,
Go.
go out of the studio, get on a bus home, get stuck in traffic, and then now you can do your yoga class, do your shavasana at the end, and then you can
Yeah.
just have a nice cup of tea in your own home. So there are
Exactly.
really good benefits to online. There are so many good benefits, and interestingly enough, I've developed quite close bonds with my clients just because I can see in their home. I've met their pets. I've seen their kids running around. I've seen their partners sometimes with not many clothes on. We've seen
Yes.
we've seen like so much stuff, and so in a way, like I feel like I've actually got to know some of my clients way more than I have when I was at the gym. Obviously, like in real life classes, you have that connection that you can't get through a screen, that you can move around, you can see what people are doing better. Sometimes obviously online I just see like a foot or someone's lampshade for the whole class. um, so there are issues with, you can't always see clearly, and you can't always have the same amount of space. And obviously the music is nice, and you've got that energy of people working out together, but both have so many benefits. They both have good sides, and I really enjoy in my busy life, like sometimes I think, oh, I've got a spare hour, let me jump online and I can learn something. And myself in this lockdown, I've joined into so many conferences and festivals, and I've learned so much, and it's given me access to teachers that I perhaps couldn't get hold of usually as well.
Yeah.
So I feel very excited about the online teaching, but I do think it's quite overwhelming because there's a lot of stuff out there now. There's a lot of, every gym's got their live streaming, their on demand, there's a lot of stuff to sift through. But I think once you find the teachers that you enjoy, it's really a pleasure, you know.
But, mm, speaking about the gyms, I remember I also wrote to you asking a question about like, oh, there was a platform that actually called me, invited me to put my classes on their platform, and to be honest, I was a little bit confused because I saw the prices, and I was like not sure, and then I thought, oh, you definitely will know about that platform because you kind of know everything about this fitness area. And but I think the minute I messaged you, I kind of decided, no, I will not do it. So kind of we stopped the conversation there. And then maybe in like a couple of weeks, I see you there on that platform. And so I don't know if should I say this platform or not, but anyway, um, the question basically, do you think, would you, let's say, recommend to dance teachers who maybe kind of struggle right now to find clients to go on these platforms? Are you personally supporting these decisions? Because why I was confused and why I was put off, because in the end, they told me that I have to pay £50, then I have to, obviously, I will receive from 57% up to 75 from the payment, and it depends. So and all my payment should go through their system. And I was a little bit like £50, and then I saw so many other belly dance teachers there. So obviously they are interested in having us, but is it profitable for, let's say, belly dancers, like belly dance teachers? So what is your experience
I think
looking
you
for?
have to have the time to, when you join, whether you're joining Class Pass or Move GB or whatever platform you're using, you need to spend the time to also promote that. It's not going to work just on its own. I think you have to link it up with your social media, and get other, I mean, I'm not an expert on this, but there are ways that you can link everything up to get more people coming in. I do think these platforms are good. I've had a few people come to me new and stay with me through I've only just looked at ClassPass because I haven't had the time to fill in all the bits, because they're very time consuming. They're time consuming to do all the admin, and sometimes I just don't have time, or it's quite boring. I'd rather
Yeah.
just do the teaching. But I think if you're looking for new, if you're, marketing is one of the hardest things in this
Oh yeah.
industry. It is
Yeah.
really challenging, and it is a time consuming job. And I think you've just got to put the energy into it, and it will come back eventually. I mean, I think if you really want to get a good return, I think things like Facebook ads are great. I've seen
Much
quite
better.
a few people advertising on Facebook. I think it works really well. I mean, I haven't done it myself, but I think that probably gives great results. And okay, social media, and it's just about being constant and plugging away at it all the time. And also real life. Remember that you're nothing beats real life. People sharing your information. So remember just to tell your friends and people that you meet that you do classes. I always tell people, like, wherever I go, if I'm going to the nail shop, and they ask me, like, what do you do? I say, oh, this is what I do. Do you want a class? Do you want to join in? Even at Tesco's, one of the ladies behind the counter, she was asking me, we got talking, and she was like, oh, you do Zumba class? I was like, yeah. I gave her my details. Because, if you chat to people, this is your one free way of marketing, and
Yeah, marketing.
you'll
Choose.
find so many people get interested in what you do, and if you're enthusiastic about it, they'll probably think, well, why not? Like, I'll just turn on my Zoom and join in that class. So don't forget to tell the people, like around you, your friends. Don't forget the obvious things to get clients.
It's never ending job. It's
Yeah, it's
never
never
ending. It's
ending.
24/7. You're self-employed and this is
It
24/7.
is. It is. Yeah,
So,
definitely.
and for clients, what advice you would say you would give to people who decided to finally do class online? How to find a proper teacher? Should you just move everywhere, try everyone, or are there any, I don't know, tips
That
how
is
to find a
hard.
good
That's really hard because, sometimes people on paper, they sound amazing, but you're just
amazing?
not going to connect with them. I think, I think YouTube is really good. I think if a teacher, I mean, a lot of good teachers who have been working for a while, most of them will have a YouTube video or something, even if it's one video, or look at their Instagram or look at their Facebook and see if you like their work, and then before you join a class, you can usually find out a little bit about someone beforehand, but you might not connect with them in the class. I mean, I've been to some teachers who are meant to be really famous and really good, and I've gone to the class and I've just been like, okay, like I'm not feeling this, like I'm not getting anything from you particularly. And then I jumped into something I just tried randomly and I really enjoyed it. But I think it's really important to try lots of different teachers, even like sometimes people don't like change, but you can learn so much from different people. And I just think, you
Definitely.
know, try different instructors, try different people, and you try different styles of things, different styles of yoga, different things. Just give everything a go. Widen your thinking, widen your ideas. I think it's important.
Yeah, and this is a good advice, and also from a person who knows how to do the marketing, I guess, right? Because, well, also another post that I remember, but I think it was a long time ago, but I will not tell when. And why I remember this post, because this is a topic that I think everyone is interested in, like feels the pain, let's say. Self-employed and taking your own apartment. So I remember the post that you did like long time ago. I think it was even a like small picture of like a picture of the house side or something like that. So I finally bought my house or apartment. I don't remember. I was like, wow. So how did you do that? So, well, can I ask you, please? So just let me know, let everyone know. Is it possible to be working as a self-employed as fitness area and to your own like to the I mean to find the to buy your own apartment in London because it's in London, right? So you said
Yeah, yeah. I bought my place 10 years ago.
before
Um,
the post was kind of I remember it recently. I didn't know you 10 years ago.
oh yeah, so
So
I bought like half 60% of my place 10 years ago, and then I bought the rest of it, like the rest 40%, like I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah, I did it in
yeah,
two
yeah, yeah.
stages. Um, Look, I mean, I think you know, you can achieve great financial things in life if you work hard.
Right.
I know that there will be some like I always, you know, what makes me laugh is I always go on YouTube and I see like these, you know, the adverts that come on before the YouTube videos. So these people are like, yeah, you don't have to work hard. Just think about the money and it will come, or you know, or these kind of things, or like, you know, just set up your business online and the money will come in, blah blah. But you know, I just think if you are, I think nothing works better in life than just being focused on saving a little bit where you can, and being aware of what money you're being frivolous with. And I, from the age of 25 to 30, I worked very hard, sometimes 7 days a week, and I didn't really spend like anything on holidays or anything like that. I just kind of focused on my work, and you know, and was living in
Saving,
not a very nice place at the time. And, you know, I just watched my money quite a lot, and that enabled me to get a deposit. I worked hard, but you know what? It's worth it.
of course.
It's really worth it. And I know it's not easy, but I think sometimes we think that we, you know, I think sometimes it does feel very hard to save money, but then you can also see some places where you are spending a lot of money as well, and it's just about cutting back on certain things. But yeah,
Yeah.
getting a place is it really helps you in life. So I really advise that more than put your money sensibly, because it will help you later on, you know. And
And
also
I
like
think
I
sorry,
was
go
very
ahead.
conscious when I was belly dancing. Um, it's very easy when you're a dancer to get wrapped up in this lifestyle of having very expensive costumes, having all your treatments done, your facial treatments, having, you know, spending lots of money on yourself, which of course you need obviously to look good, to get work. But at the same time, I think you also need to be very clever with your money and invest into some good areas that will get you, you know, give you support in the future. Because let's be honest, your dancing career, yeah, you can, you know, do whatever to look after yourself, but it will be limited at one point. And I don't know many people who are dancing in the commercial world, like belly dancing 50 plus. In fact, I don't think I know anyone, maybe one or two. But it gets hard, you know, it gets harder, you know, because it's on the commercial side, it's quite shallow. It's quite a shallow
Yeah,
industry. So it's great
the
to spend.
money.
It's great to spend on your looks, but just try to be wise. You know, with, you know, you can get nice costumes, but they don't have to be like the craziest ones. You know.
And the reason why I'm asking this is just even I, though I'm kind of in UK, I think still recently, but it's already 6 years. So even I got many questions like, and are you sure you're gonna be able to support yourself? Are you sure it's a good, so, and it's like constant pressure, you know. So if people are asking me, is it like you can afford your own apartment, or you can do this and that? So and that's why the question to you. So it's a nice example that in this industry, I'm not talking actually about belly dancing, I'm about fitness industry. So yes, doing this and having your own apartment is actually possible. So this is your living example,
I
basically.
think it's really easy to get very sidetracked these days because, you know, you can spend a lot of money on like the clothes you wear, the fitness clothes you wear. They can be really expensive. You can spend a lot of money on all these things. Um, but you need to think, okay, what returns is that getting me? Like, you want to look good, but just, I think it really helps to think where you're putting your money. And I really advise to put money away, like from your hard work for whatever you can, because it will make a
Yeah.
difference. Like, I got my place when I'm 30. So then,
Stop shopping in Morrison's or Waitrose, go to Lidl and Aldi.
yeah, exactly. It's just making these little tiny changes makes a huge difference. It really does. Like it does all add up in the end, and you can build on that, you know. And there's so many ways you can buy properties now, like help to buy, shared ownership. There's lots of help out there if you want. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for this. This is a great comment, especially for me as well. So another thing is, and that's extremely also an interesting topic. So your latest post, you see, I was following everything. So the latest post about you and NHS and Turkey. So just if you can share this information a little bit, because this was interesting. You know, many people are actually starting to traveling somewhere else. And I'm not talking about the people like who came from other countries and they're going to their country to fix something, you know, dentistry or something. Yeah. But now I see that many people from UK actually traveling somewhere else because they couldn't get the NHS property. So if you can just let us a little bit more information about your experience, it would be lovely.
So basically, I mean, I think like the NHS is a wonderful idea, and is a great thing that we have in our country. But unfortunately, it's not had the right amount of money put into it, and it's not had the right organization at the top, which has meant that at the lower levels of the operation of the you know the where they're dealing with people, the doctors and nurses are sometimes tired. There's not enough time. There's not enough resources, and this means that we as um, I don't know, as clients, as patients, that's the right word. As patients, we can't always get the treatments that we need in the right time, which is really sad because we are a very wealthy country, and there's a lot of money, and it's just not gone into the right place, really. And so I think a lot of people are realizing that going abroad would sometimes be a quicker option if they're waiting. Not just Turkey, but there are so many. I mean, I read the other day, like you can get, like if you have a knee replacement done in the UK, it's like 15,000, but you can get it done in France for like 3,000. You know, so it's quite a big difference in price even for someone like France. But for me, my issue for going to Turkey was for female health related problems. And unfortunately, like I've been to so many different doctors here in the UK over a good 26 years. From a young girl, I was going to doctors with so much pain and so many issues, and no one has ever helped me in the right direction. And I think this is an area that needs to be greatly improved. It's not just me, there's so many other women who struggled with endometriosis or fibroids, fertility, menopause, so many female related issues that are just not getting dealt with. I mean, menopause is a huge one, and no one, there's so many women out there who are just struggling. They don't know where to turn. They don't know what to do. They're depressed. They're putting on weight. They feel horrible. Their joints are aching, and no one's helping them. No one's taking them seriously. And this is something that goes on for a long time, menopause. It's not just a few months and it's over. This is something that's several years, and they're just getting ignored. And as women, we should be we should be thriving, not just surviving. You know, we are working, we are women are mothers, you know, we're out there contributing to society. And if we're not feeling well because our hormones and our bodies are not functioning right, then how can we be, you know, operating and giving in the right way? So unfortunately, I don't know why, but female health issues have been really not up to standard in this
Yeah.
country, unfortunately. Not just for me, for many women. There was something recently on the BBC News. So many women struggling with endometriosis. Yeah,
Can
it's
you just briefly say what's that, just to
so
know? Because I
endometriosis. Endometriosis is when the tissue of your womb starts to grow in places that it shouldn't, basically. So can grow in your womb. It can wrap around like your ovaries, or it can also grow outside your womb, and it can basically grow, wrap around your organs, grow around into your bladder, affect your bowels. And it's like tissue from your uterus that acts. So obviously every month as a woman you bleed, and that tissue has grown outside your uterus and it's bleeding, and the blood is basically trapped inside you. And I think it's something like 1 in 10 women in this country will have endometriosis. It's very common. But basically, because that's one of the issues. Obviously, women suffer from fibroids. So many women are suffering infertility. So many women are having skin issues. Lots of things to do with hormones that are affecting women, and it's because there's many reasons. So many toxins in the environment, toxins in the food, and stressful lifestyle, and all of this combined, it means that our bodies are just suffering. And there are so many natural ways that you can deal with things, but obviously sometimes you need some medical intervention as well, like operations and stuff.
Was it difficult for you to find an appropriate doctor in Turkey? So it's another country. Were you doing like research? Was it easy to do?
Actually, first I was looking at India, to go to India, because they have some great medical services there, especially for women's health. But in the end, I didn't really fancy like the long, the long plane,
Oh,
and you know, I think at the time as well with COVID, everything's just a bit like upside down, isn't it? So I just thought maybe someone closer to home is a bit better. And then the thing is, like, when I typed in with stuff in Europe, I couldn't find anything. Like, not many websites are in English, but Turkey is great. You can find so much information very easily, and they were straight away very professional, very friendly. I got the surgeon's details. And the thing that I love, like when you go abroad, is that you don't get this here. You just get the surgeon's, like, literally his WhatsApp, and you can just WhatsApp him. It's great. Like, I don't know why we don't have that here. It would make my life so much easier. You know, at one
everything is
point,
closed.
yeah, like at one point I had the doctor in India, the top surgeon in the country for women's health, you know, gynecologist, and I'm just WhatsApping him, you know, about my situation. He's replying back, and I'm getting answers and directions so quickly. But here, you know, I have to book an appointment. To book an appointment, I have to fill in a form. Then I get to the appointment, then they have to write a letter to someone else. Then if you're lucky, you might get the letter a week back later. And you're already just like, oh my God, you're listening.
You already don't want to have anything. Let me die at home.
Yeah. So, you know, like, you know, I like to just get things done easily and quickly. And I think abroad, they've got the technology mixed with the medical services really good, you know. So this was great. I just had the surgeons like WhatsApp. I'm like, this is what's wrong. And he's like, great, this will, you know, this is what we're going to do. And he seems to know what he's talking about. So I put my trust in him, and it was great. It was a great experience. So.
Oh, this is amazing. Really, really. Thank you so much for sharing this. Because why I wanted to talk about that, because I really feel that we need this kind of connection, and we need this opportunity to, let's say, if we don't find answers here, let's say in this situation with NHS, we have to look further. Please continue finding good solutions.
You need to keep
Yeah.
fighting for your health. And the thing is,
Until you die.
I feel privileged. I feel privileged. I did have some, you know, some money that I could go and do this. I mean, it wasn't that expensive, but it was still, you know, not everyone has. My whole treatment, everything was like £3,500. Okay, that, I mean, if I'd done it in the UK, it would have been £15,000.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a big saving, but not everyone has that kind of money hanging around. But even here, like, you just need to keep getting answers. Don't don't ever suffer in pain or anything. Just keep on asking, look, this is not good. I need to change your doctor. Just, you know, if you feel like you're struggling with something, and pain is pain, and you know, don't just put up with it.
Find a
It's
solution. Yeah,
yeah,
just try.
yeah.
Not in UK, find someone else like Turkey. Amazing country, love it.
I really
Okay.
recommend it. I when I was there, woo, I'm losing,
Oh,
I'm losing you.
I'm back.
Sorry. When I was there were so many people having all kinds of stuff done. I mean, like, okay, obviously Turkey's really famous for for aesthetic work, and they do a great job there as well. You know, there was loads of guys having hair transplants, and the whole plane was full of men with had their hair done. It
Yeah.
was really interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So obviously they're famous for their aesthetic work, but they're also really famous for dentistry and IVF as well. So like in the UK, it's around like 10,000 plus to have IVF, and in
Mm.
Turkey they have very very good results. For you know they're paying like 3,000, 4,000 for IVF treatment, and they're in a nice place and they're really looked after and they have very high success rates. So there's so many things that Turkey is growing on. So it's worth looking at whatever your treatment that you need to go there.
And then you can go to the sea as well.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Thank you so much, Tara. I took a lot of your time, but it
It's
was so
okay. It was
interesting.
fun. It
It
was
was
really
really
nice. Thank
nice. So
you.
thank you so much. And what I'll do, I'll save this and I'll put a little bit later, I'll put it on YouTube. So feel free to also watch it again. Maybe, I don't know, just save it for yourself as well. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, and
Okay.
there's something I just want to actually say before I go.
Yeah.
I just earlier on in our conversation, so please excuse me, guys. I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way. I said I was dancing in restaurants. I was dancing in restaurants, and then now I don't mind to do like artistic stuff, as in theatre. I don't mean that the restaurant stuff, by the way, is not artistic, because I really want to say that it is. And performing in clubs and weddings and shisha lounges and your wherever you're doing, there is an art and there is a skill to what you're doing in belly dance.
Definitely. This is
So
true. That's
perhaps I just want to clear that up, that you know when I meant like moving from the commercial world to like things like theatre, I feel is more appropriate for me right now. But yeah, to everyone that is working in the clubs and the restaurants and the shisha lounges and all this, it is an art and it is a definite skill. And I have to say, one thing that makes me crazy is when people say they want to elevate the art of belly dance. Belly dance is an art already. It's already an art. It doesn't need to go anywhere else. Okay, it's already an art. It's already great as it is. We don't need to necessarily change anything. So I just want to make sure that's very clear about what I said. I don't want to
no,
be
you know,
misunderstood on that.
it's
Hope that makes
fine.
sense.
Definitely. Okay, no, no problem there. Thank you so much, Tara. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much,
Really
Yala.
love
Thank
to
you so
join.
much for
Thank you.
inviting
Okay,
me. I really
that was a
enjoyed.
pleasure.
Big love, and thank you for everyone who stayed around stayed around
They will
to
be watching as well
listen to
because
me going on and on. So thank you so much. Big
no, it
love.
was very
Ooh, can you
interesting.
see my heart? There we go.
Bye.
Ooh,
Bye
thanks so
bye.
much. Bye. Bye.